and etc. And that was a legislation enacted by the same Parliament of that legislation. So I recommend that we have a form in which the budget should be presented. The provisions of the Public Financial Management Act, of course, is the parent legislation dealing with financial management and the presentation of budgets. So, Mr. Speaker, I don't think there's an issue here. Let's proceed.
Yes, Minority Leader. I have listened to the application by the Member of Parliament for Toulon. I have also listened to the Leader of the House, responding to application was anchored in Order 195. There's no this is what it says. The budget statement in economic policy the government shall be presented to the House. So they should take it easy. This is law. Take it easy. Take it easy. Take it easy. So, Mr. Speaker, what is the reverse logic? Please, for the benefit of our young ones, for the benefits of the young ones, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, this House is equally guided by its own rules and precedents. Wait a moment. Those who are in a hurry, in reverse logic, the House may decide, but just we may have to determine which form. So, Mr. Speaker, the invitation by the minority, the deputy minority whip, is well-founded. He is inviting us as a House to determine, are we going to allow him to make a statement, or we are going to allow him to move a motion? Is it going to be in a form of a motion or in a form of a statement? This is a well-court application. Don't use your number to shout to intimidate him. This item has to be taken. The deputy minority whip is inviting us to set the ground rules. The majority leader got up and referred to PFM Act to say what? He didn't quote the specific provision. The man has made an application. He didn't say anything against his application on the rules. coming to do. It's for this House to determine. Is he going to move a motion in accordance with Article 179, or he's coming to make a statement? And when he makes the statement, what happens? Is it going to be left with a chairman of a finance committee to now move that this House should debate the statement? Mr. Speaker, this is a solid application, and he should be applauded for what he's done. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I would want to rule on, in terms of procedure, the right thing has been done. The order you quoted clearly states the statement of the estimates of revenue and expenditure of the government. It says what? The statement. And so what they are bringing to us is a statement. And when statements are admitted, they are presented as statements. Now, when you go to 1952, which you refer to, it says the budget statement and economic policy of the government shall be presented to the House by the minister responsible for finance on behalf of or on the authority of the president. That's first. Second, and in a form the House may determine. Honorable Minority Leader, you are not in a shouting battle. Please. This is the House. The only way the House can determine however you do. The House cannot determine this matter. You are truly, if you decide that you then this is the time you want. Please, the statement must first be presented to you. It has to be presented to the House. And if you may, you determine the form you want it to be presented. That can be part of the debate to be presented. That can be part of the debate. But I'm not sure the definition you are putting on the word form. Form. Please go back to your lexicons. To determine the meaning of form. I think the right has been done. The statement was admitted. It's been properly captured on the order paper as programmed by the business committee, and the minister is here to present the statement to the House. So Honorable Minister, just a minute. Just a minute. Honorable members, at the commencement, yes.
Mr. Speaker, just to thank you for your guidance.
For the longest time until I became a journalist.
Statements. The budget statement and economic policy of the government for the year ending 31st December 2025. Minister for Finance.
Dramani Mahama. And pursuant to Article 179 of the Constitution and the other paper, and the standing orders of the House, Order 1952, and today's order paper, Item 7. Mr. Speaker, I present to you the budget statement and economic policy of government for the year ending 31st December 2025. Right Honorable Speaker, today marks a moment of great significance. President John Dramani Mahama, following his extraordinary mandate, the maiden budget of his new administration. Mr. Speaker, I'm deeply grateful to His Excellency the President for entrusting me with this responsibility. Respectfully, Mr. Speaker, I also submit to this House the following statutory report as required by law. The 2024 annual report on the petroleum funds in line with Section 48 of the Petroleum Revenue Management Act 2011, Act 815, as amended, Mr. Speaker. Energy Sector Levies Act 2015, Act 899. And finally, Mr. Speaker, the 2024 annual report on the collection and utilization of the African Union Import Levy Act 2017, Act 952. Right, Honorable Speaker, with this budget, I will also be seeking a review of the following act to support the policies of government aimed at stabilizing the economy and promoting inclusive growth. The first will be an amendment to the Petroleum Revenue Management Act 2011, Act 815. The second will be the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund 20, Act 870. And the second will be an amendment to the Mineral Income Investment Fund Act 2018, Act 970. Amendment to the Ghana Cocoa Board Act 1984, the PNDC Law 81, as amended. The Speaker, that's not all. I'll also be seeking amendment to the Earmark Funds Capping and Realignment Act 2017, Act 947, the Ghana Procurement Authority Act 2003, Act 663, as amended in Act 914. Speaker, I'll be seeking amendment to the Ghana Education Trust Fund Act 2000, Act 581. And finally, Mr. Speaker, I'll also be seeking amendment to the Fiscal Responsibility Act 2018, Act 982, and incorporating into a comprehensive public financial management act. Mr. Speaker, I forgot to add that I will also be seeking amendment to the Revenue Administration Act 2016, Act 915. So, Speaker, we remain committed to the pursuit of our 24-hour economic policy of stimulating economic growth and job creation. Right Honourable Speaker, this policy will contribute to addressing Ghana's structural economic challenge by creating an integrated, efficient, and increasingly of our national resources, capital, and labour policy to Parliament in due course. In this respect, Mr. Speaker, the Labour Act, the Ghana Investment Promotion Act, and other enabling legislation to stabilize our city through foreign exchange and gold reserve accumulation. I will also submit a bill to provide a legal framework for the establishment of the Ghana Gold Board for the consideration of this House. Mr. Speaker, this budget is indeed an abridged version of the 2025 budget statement and economic policy of government. I respectfully request the Hansa Department to capture the entire budget statement and economic policy of government. For standing here evokes a sense of nostalgia as I reflect on my journey in public service. From my early days to a member of the Finance Committee, to a Deputy Minister of Finance, to ranking member of the Finance Committee, to Minority Leader, to Majority Leader briefly, and now, Mr. Speaker, as Minister responsible of Finance. Right Honourable Speaker, the invaluable experience I gained in this change to supporting His Excellency the President to fix the economy of Ghana. I take this opportunity to extend across the aisle for your unwavering support throughout my years in this chamber. The Speaker, this esteemed House is a century of rigorous pursuit of greater good of our beloved country. I look forward to working with you, Right Honourable Speaker, and my colleagues on both sides of the aisle to reset the Ghana's economy through sound policy and structural reforms that will propel our country forward. Mr. Speaker, there comes a time in a nation's history when fundamental challenges must be confronted, difficult choices must be made, and a new course must be set for the future. For Ghana, the defining moment is now. Mr. Speaker, President John Dramani Mahama made a commitment to reset Ghana for jobs, accountability, prosperity. The Speaker, as captured in the NDC manifesto, in this regard, the theme of our budget is resetting the economy for Ghana we want. Right, Honorable Speaker, our democracy has been consolidated with yet another peaceful transition of power. That notwithstanding, our youth face an uncertain future with growing unemployment and hopelessness. This suggests that the dividend of democracy and social justice remains elusive. The Speaker, the choice before us as a country are clear. We can either continue on a path by not confronting the problems, our priorities, honest our social contract, and provide opportunity for all. The Speaker, luckily, President Mahama has chosen the path of reform and transformation. He will fix the economy. He will restore hope and lead us to build a Ghana by the National Economic Dialogue on the theme Resetting Ghana, Building the Economy We Want Together on the 3rd and the 4th of March 2025 to the severe challenges that plagued us as a country. Mr. Speaker, the 2025 budget is a culmination of stakeholders. As part of our broad consultation also ahead of the budget, we recently engaged at major trading elicit their input. Mr. Speaker, the extensive consultation revealed that the overriding concern among Ghanaian traders and business community remains price and exchange rate stability. Apart from eroding their working capital, exchange rate volatilities makes effective business planning impossible and increase the cost of doing business. This budget outlines far-reaching measures which will be implemented in close collaboration with the Central Bank, the Bank of Ghana, to effectively and efficiently manage the exchange rate and inflation. Mr. Speaker, we also engage the youth of Ghana in a dialogue on social media as part of our new budget consultation. Mr. Speaker, during my engagement with the youth, it was revealed who were employed since June 2023 have not received their salaries. We will take urgent steps to remedy this situation immediately. Right Honorable Speaker, this conversation was an eye-opening experience, one that strengthened my belief that the voices of the youth matter in designing policies that directly and indirectly impact their lives and future. Mr. Speaker, in the year 2016, I came to this chamber on behalf of the then Minister of Finance, the Honorable set to deploy a robust public financial management system. Even though, Mr. Speaker, the Public Financial Management Act remains one of the best in the world, its poor implementation has rendered our allowing for abuse and costly. Mr. Speaker, accordingly, contracting and public procurement to Mr. Speaker. We will rationalize the management of the compensation of employees, including conducting headcount across the country. (2025). Right Honourable Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I now focus my attention on the state of the Ghanaian economy as at 31st December 2024. Mr. Speaker, hands on heart, we inherited an economy in deep crisis. Mr. Speaker, with debt and shortfalls and financial sector payments. Mr. Speaker, weak commitment control and reckless public spending have reversed the progress made in fiscal consolidation, even under the IMF program that commenced in the year 2023. Mr. Speaker, notwithstanding the gains made under the IMF-supported program that was to achieve through the painful sacrifice of domestic bondholders, external creditors, and taxpayers, the economy remains in distress. Right Honourable Speaker, key performance indicators to be assessed by the IMF staff in the upcoming fourth review of the program, scheduled for April 2025, such as the primary balance, missed. Right Honourable Speaker, in addition, all structural benchmarks due by end December 2024 are also missed. Mr. Speaker, inflation worsened in the year 2024. Mr. Speaker, the 2024 end period inflation also exceeded the budget target of 15% by 8.8 percentage points and the IMF central target of 18% by 5.8 percentage points. Unfortunately, this has triggered a discussion with IMF under the Monetary Policy Consultation Clause. Right Honourable Speaker, the primary balance on commitment basis worsened from a deficit of 0.2% of GDP to a deficit of 3.9% in the... It's a surplus of 0.5% of GDP. Sadly, the previous government recorded a deficit of 3.9 percentage point of GDP. This presents a slippage of 4 percentage points. Right Honourable Speaker, representing 5.2% of GDP. The Speaker, recording an arrest of 20. My office was inundated with requests, total arrest and outstanding payment for all MDAs. The Ministry of Finance decided to formally request all MDAs on the 28th, 2028 to submit information on all arrests and outstanding claims for validation. Subsequently, Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Finance held a special hearing with the MDAs to validate the arrests that were submitted for payment. The response from the MDAs and the validation revealed that a staggering amount of 67.5 billion Ghana cedis is owed to government contractors and suppliers. The Speaker, MDA's outstanding interest worth 18.3 billion Ghana cedis. The Speaker, this 67 billion excludes 1.73 billion US dollars owed to independent power producers. This 67 billion also excludes 68 billion Ghana cedis owned by Electricity Company of Ghana to contractors. Mr. Speaker, this 67 billion US dollars also exclude the 32 billion owned by the Ghana Cocoa Board to contractors. Mr. Speaker, to exclude the 5.75 billion owned to seeking an amount of 53 billion Ghana cedis as bailout to be able to address their negative equity challenge that they face. Mr. Speaker, as part of the measures to address these mounting accumulated arrests, we have commissioned an audit of these arrest payments and guarantee value for money before a penny will be paid. Mr. Speaker, before a penny will be paid, we'll commit to do that arrest. Right Honorable Speaker, in addition to the 67.5 the validation process series. Mr. Speaker, this amount represents 16.5% of GDP as at the end of 2020. Again, alone accounting for most of these contractors and most of these contracts were awarded without commencement certificate and authorization. Mr. Speaker, this is in blatant violation of the Public Financial Management Act 921. Right Honorable Speaker, let me now update you on our debt service. Debt service and constrained fiscal finance. Mr. Speaker, the government option to finance the budget of both domestic and Europe of payment. Right Honorable Speaker, domestic debt service alone, programmed for the next 4 years, is 150.3 billion Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, simply put, the interest and principal payment that will be due for payment beginning now for the next 4 years is 150.3 billion Ghana. 11.6% of GDP, 50 billion Ghana cedis is due for payment in the year 2027 and 2028. Right Honorable Speaker, 2027 alone, the domestic debt service that will be falling due and 2028 of 2027 and 2028 are major harms. These harms are cancerous and pose significant risks to the economy of Ghana. But Mr. We shall fix it. We shall fix it. We were called upon to pay 9.9 billion. And August will be paying 10.1 billion bill that we also inherited. So, Speaker, these obligations totaling about 111.1 over week in, week out, placing additional pressure on cash flows and liquidity requirements. Obligations for the next 4 years. The next 4 years will be made to call upon to pay billion US dollars, representing 10.9% of GDP, with heavy concentration again in the year 2027 and 2028. Again, Mr. Speaker, 55% of this external debt service will be due in the year 2027 and 2028. Right Honorable Speaker, in the year 2027, we'll be made to pay $2.5 billion US, and 2028, we'll have to again pay $2.4 billion US. Right Honorable Speaker, it seems the debt restructuring undertaken by the previous administration designed to make 2027 and 2020. How come we sat and allowed that design to happen? Mr. Speaker, that is cancerous, but I can assure you we will fix it. Mr. Speaker, in spite of all this upcoming domestic and external debt service obligation, no buffers were built to cushion this unprecedented debt service burden. Mr. Speaker, as I said, the debt service reserve account, the sinking fund in dollar, has a balance of $64,000 US. Mr. Speaker, when we were leaving office, we left behind a debt service reserve CD account had an amount of 143 million Ghana cedis. Right Honorable Speaker, when we were leaving office, the balance was 430 million Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, I now move you to stalled project. Mr. Speaker, due to the bilateral, a staggering number of 55 projects have been halted. Mr. Speaker, this amount of 3 billion Ghana US dollars in undisbursed loans, and about 300 million. The famous Ifeanyi Kwanta Hospital, the Kejetia Market Phase 2, the Bolgatanga Chrome Road, and cost overruns of over 1.2 Right Honorable Speaker, the IMF supported program imposed an annual. This constraint means that it will take a minimum of 12 years to complete all of this stalled program. Mr. Speaker, unfortunately, all this stalled program to resolve this challenge. Mr. Speaker, I now take you to the famous energy sector fiscal risk. Mr. Speaker, the increase in energy sector financing shortfall is posing significant economy, about 20.8 schools and hospitals if the sector inefficiencies were resolved. The Speaker, a recent exercise conducted by the energy sector revealed that the business as usual energy sector finances increased significantly to about 35 billion Ghana cedis. Honorable Speaker, more importantly, the shortfall for the period 2023 to 2026 has been estimated to be about 140 billion Ghana cedis. The Speaker, this amount is 20 times more than the allocation for goods and service for all MDAs in the year 2025. The Speaker, in addition, the energy sector shortfalls, which relate to current invoices that are largely unpaid legacy arrests due to the independent power producers. Mr. Speaker, the legacy arrests billion backbone of the Ghanaian economy is sad gross mismanagement. Mr. Speaker, including cocoa roads, which, Mr. Speaker, is a non-core function of the Ghana Cocoa Board. Right Honorable by nearly 50% over the past 3 years. In the year 2023-2024 crop season, Cocoa Board was unable to. This sharply decline has affected the finances of Ghana Cocoa Board. This undersupply has been rolled over for subsequent years for the new administration to pay. So, Speaker, these 2023 to 2024 forward sales contracts, locked in at lower prices than the current market rates, have resulted in revenue losses of about $840 million for both Ghana Cocoa Board and the impoverished cocoa farmer. Right Honorable Speaker, the rollout cocoa contract has resulted in a loss of $495 million for the year 2025 alone. So, Speaker, these are the risks in relation to the market price differentials and, as a result, costs causing the smuggling that we see with Ghana Cocoa Board. So, Speaker, Cocoa Board outstanding debt Ghana cedis, of which 1 billion Ghana cedis, approximately $1.3 billion in the year 2024. The financial sector still struggles, even after spending $30.3 billion in the financial sector cleanup exercise by end 2024. This includes 26 after spending this amount in the bank $0.45 billion Ghana cedis to address the financial sector legacy issues and emerging risk. In addition, Mr. Speaker, an amount of 2.2 billion Ghana cedis is required to fully capitalize the National Investment Bank and the Agriculture Development 24. Mr. Speaker, the fiscal performance in the year 2024 was characterized by but with significant expenditure overruns. In addition, large arrests were accumulated over the fiscal anchor of the IMF program worsened from a deficit of 0.2% of GDP at 2024. This is 4.4 percentage points worse than the target surplus of 0.5% of GDP. Sadly, Mr. Speaker, on cash basis, Mr. Speaker, the primary balance was a deficit of 1.2% of GDP against a target of 0.6% of GDP, representing a 100% deviation. Mr. Speaker, the overall fiscal balance in 2024 was a deficit was percent of grant amounted to 186.6%. Cedis, or 15.9, 17.4% of GDP. The performance was mainly driven by higher than programmed oil and gas receipts and higher non-oil total expenditure on commitment basis including the 27.1% above the budget provisions of the year 2024, Mr. Speaker. The primary balance on commitment basis, including discrepancies, amounted to or 19.8% of GDP. Unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, all expenditure lines December 2024, provisional data indicate that gross central government from 610 billion in 2023. This represents 61.8 billion, 61.8% of GDP
in 2024, compared to
the debt to GDP ratio and the dollar component of our debt that has come down, that has reduced, is as a Right, Honorable Speaker. It is instructive to note that the debt to GDP that has reduced is as a result of the 37% haircut on principal and interest that were given to Eurobond bondholders. So, Speaker, sustainability and economic stability. As of now,
the restructuring process is approximately 93% completed. The remaining 7% relate to debt of $2.7 billion owed to commercial creditors. We are committed to completing the remaining debt restructuring as soon as possible. The Speaker, real sector development in the year 2024. Right, Honorable Speaker, provisional 2024 GDP statistics published by the Ghana Statistical Service on the 10th of March 2025 shows that overall real at the end of increased to 5.7% in the year 2024. So, Speaker, I take that again. The Speaker, provisional 2024 GDP statistics published by the Ghana Statistical Service on the 10th of March 2025 showed that overall GDP growth grew by 5.7% of GDP. Mr. Speaker, the key driver of this growth was largely coming from gold mine. Mr. Speaker, including Galamsey. Galamsey growth cannot be sustainable. Mr. Speaker, non-oil GDP growth. Mr. Speaker, the non-oil GDP grew by 0.6% in the year 2024, compared with the growth rate of top position of $8.98 billion
at the end of 2024, and was enough to cover 4 months of imports. At the end of 2024, the currency had depreciated by 19.2% against the US dollars, 17.8% against the euro, against the British pound, so Speaker, and it had depreciated by 13.7% against the euro. The Speaker, Right Honorable Speaker, it is what it is. The state of our economy is troubling, but we will fix it. Sacrifices, truthfulness, transparency, and discipline. We will take strong measures to confront the situation head on. So, Speaker, the sacrifice must come from all stakeholders, beginning with the government. So, Speaker, His Excellency the President appreciate this and has led, Mr. Speaker, he has also reduced the number of his government ministries from 23. Mr. Speaker, with government. To agree on a modest 10% increase in base pay and minimum wage for the year 2025. Right Honourable Speaker, and employers. Mr. Speaker, Ghanaians have also sacrificed by enduring the negative high food inflation, principal and interest haircut, soaring interest rates, among others. Mr. Speaker, it is now time members of Parliament and the judiciary to also organizations, academia, immediate tax and set our country is to build a prosperous and a democratic state anchored on the principles of freedom and justice, providing equal opportunities for all. So, Speaker, through this vision, we will work together to build the Ghana we want. Right Honourable Speaker, the resetting agenda will be anchored on the following. 1. Restoring hope in our democracy, renewing trust in public officials, and helping every Ghanaian attain their full potential. Offering a trusted hand to the vulnerable, particularly and creating a new Ghana for coming generations. And finally, stimulating demand by patronizing made-in-Ghana goods under the 24-hour economy. Mr. Speaker, today I came to this chamber with made-in-Ghana bag, signifying, Mr. Speaker, with made-in-Ghana bag, Mr. Speaker, I would like to first present Mr. Speaker, Right Honourable Speaker, I would like to first present the government's immediate and strong measures to address the current challenges we are confronted with, followed by the medium-term vision, policy objectives and targets. Right Honourable Management Act 2016, Act 911, the fiscal policy objectives of this government is to support the economic transformation agenda to ensure the macroeconomic stability of the country within the macroeconomic and fiscal framework. More specific, rationalizing government expenditure and eliminating wasteful expenditures, optimizing domestic revenue mobilization through broadening of tax base, increased non-tax revenue collection, adopting enhanced tax compliance measures, and modernizing the tax administration through digital job creation. We'll be reducing public debt to sustainable levels and adopting prudent debt management practice to support debt sustainability. Reducing the fiscal deficit progressively in accordance with the amended Fiscal Responsibility Act to promote fiscal and debt sustainability.
Mr. Speaker, restoring confidence in the Ghana economy. Right Honourable Speaker, our approach will be to foster economic growth, accelerate job creation, reduce inflation, and stabilize the cedi. To achieve this, it is crucial that we establish the macroeconomic stability and ensure debt sustainability. Mr. Speaker,
we are confident that by prioritizing these fundamental elements, we can cultivate an environment where individuals can prosper and businesses can thrive in Ghana. Mr. Speaker, Ghanaians, through the recent National Economic Dialogue, have expressed a clear desire for fiscal deficit and public debt to be reduced through cuts. We will tailor our expenditure to align with our fiscal realities. After all, whoever pays off their debt gets rich. Mr. Speaker, we are poised to implement a three-pronged approach to achieve our objective, beginning with this budget immediately. First will be to recalibrate fiscal adjustment, and we believe a positive cycle. Fiscal adjustment can initiate a positive cycle in a way that first, it will help lower inflation, reduce the crowding out of private sector, and lower interest rates. Lastly, this approach will ease the strain on monetary policy, allowing the central bank some greater flexibility to reduce monetary policy rates, ultimately resulting in lower bank and lending rates. Mr. Speaker, the second approach will be to deliver a shock therapy. Mr. Speaker, we are implementing a form of shock therapy to the economy by making significant spending cuts this year, thereby reducing the gap and credit worthiness. Right Honourable Speaker, our third approach will be to restore fiscal responsibility. By moving forward, we will enhance public financial management by empowering ministers to effectively manage their budget on their own. Ensuring strict compliance with the Responsibility Act, and finally, we will enforce the sanction regime for non-compliance of the public Financial Management Act of a surplus of 1.5% of GDP. Mr. Speaker, gross international reserves, 0.5% of GDP. Mr. Speaker, gross international reserves, including oil funds and encumbered assets, to cover not more than a minimum of 3 months of import of Ghana, to cover not more than a minimum of 3 months of import of Ghana, and monetary authorities. So, Speaker, measures to stabilize the exchange rate of forex to support the stability of continue to implement its efforts forward auction to support the stability of the Ghana cedi. Government's strong fiscal consolidation through the reduction in public sector spending and the fiscal deficit will reduce the pressure under the 24-hour economy and related efforts inflation problems through a number of measures, including the following. problems through a number of measures, including the following. First, specific interventions, including the Agriculture for Economic Transformational Agenda, is expected to policies use their prices, contribute significantly to reducing inflationary pressures, imported inflation and fuel prices. Mr. Speaker, the Bank of Ghana will maintain an appropriate monetary policy stance and use its liquidity management interventions to support the disinflation process. Right Honourable Speaker, to achieve our expenditure-led fiscal consolidation objectives, our expenditure measures, and the medium term to support fiscal consolidation agenda. First, we will conduct a comprehensive audit to validate the quantum of arrests and commitment as at 31st December 2024. Mr. Speaker, the mandatory use of blanket purchase order to capture multi-year commitment contracts in line with our medium-term expenditure ceilings will be implemented. We will amend the Public Procurement Act to provide for an independent value for money office to scrutinize government, to make commencement certificate and budgetary provision a prerequisite for all procurement that will be paid by the central government. So ensure that only MDA's projects and purchase orders that have approved budget and allotment can obtain procurement approvals. Mr. Speaker, we will operationalize the compliance desk at the Ministry of Finance to monitor reports on commitment and arrest accumulation. Mr. Speaker, aside that, we will publish a PFM league table for compliance purposes. We will strictly enforce sanctions under the sections 96 to 98 for breaches of the PFM Act, specific articles. For complete elimination of development authorities such as Coastal Development Authority, the Northern Development Authority, the Middle Belt Development Authority to the district assemblies and make do. Development authorities. So, Speaker, we will amend the The Speaker, the National Health Insurance will receive full allocation under the earmark funds capping and realignment act. So, Speaker, the road fund will receive full allocation under the earmark fund and capping and realignment act. So, Speaker, JNPC share of net carried and participating interest from 30, we will reduce the GNPC share of net carried and participating interest from 30% to 15% and fully restore transfers to GMPC under the earmark fund and capping alignment act. Right, Honourable Speaker, we'll be amending the Mineral Income and Investment Fund Act to ensure that 80% of the royalties originally maintained by MIF is transferred to the Consolidated Fund for Infrastructure Development. Right, Honourable Speaker, we will strengthen social protection through the implementation of new interventions such as Stress Initiative. The Speaker, it also includes the free tertiary education for persons with disability, and free sanitary pads for schools. Mr. Speaker, to address the energy sector challenges will be implemented this year. First, Mr. Speaker, ECG and NEDCO will implement a number of measures, including metering and implementation of private sector participation. Mr. Speaker, we'll also implement the liquid fuel to gas swap through an increase in N-gas supply from 60 MMSC per day to 100 MMSC to take advantage of cheaper gas prices and others. Mr. Speaker, we will complete the IPP capacity charges. Mr. Speaker, in ESRP measures to achieve the structural benchmark of the IMF program. Mr. Speaker, PURC will also undertake a major tariff adjustment, which will be due in fourth quarter of 2025, to reflect capacity charges, additional liquid fuel usage, and additional CAPEX. The weighted average cost of gas will be increased from the current $7.80 per MMBTU to $8.45 to reflect the increased prices of natural gas as well as the changes in the supply mix. Mr. Speaker, the subsidy on weighted average cost of gas development tariff will be reversed. Mr. Speaker, I now take you to the revenue measures. Revenue measures. For your consideration, I'll first take you to the IMF requirement. Mr. Speaker, this measure is inconsistent with over the medium term. We have programmed the following nuisance taxes for removal in line with our manifesto promise. On winning from lottery, otherwise known as the betting tax. Mr. Speaker, we will abolish the electronic transfer levy, e-levy, of 1%. Mr. Speaker, we will abolish the 10% withholding tax on betting. We will abolish the electronic transfer levy, e-levy of 1%. We will abolish the emission levy, otherwise as in Wusie tax. We will abolish the VAT on motor vehicle insurance policy. Mr. Speaker, we will abolish the 1.5% withholding tax on unprocessed gold by small-scale miners. Mr. Speaker, the removal of these taxes will ease the burden on households and improve their disposable income. Right, Honorable Speaker, the removal of these taxes will ease the burden on households and improve their disposable incomes. In addition, It will support business growth and improve tax compliance. Mr. Speaker, Right Honorable Speaker, the tax refund account has been abused in recent years. In the last 8 years, a study revealed that 29.1 billion Ghana cedis had accrued to the tax refund account, with only 12.5 billion Ghana cedis, representing 43% of the total accrued amount, being used for tax refund purposes. Mr. Speaker, the study also revealed that 16.6 billion Ghana cedis, representing 57% of the total amount accumulated in the tax refund account, was misapplied. Mr. Speaker, which is a total violation of the Revenue Administration Act, Act 915, and the Public Financial Management Act. Instructively, Mr. Speaker, there were virtually no tax refund arrests over the period. Mr. Speaker, and therefore, we are reducing the current tax refund ceiling by 2 percentage points from 6% to 4% of total revenue, as defined in Section 69 of the Revenue Administration Act, Act 915. Mr. Speaker, we have saved the taxpayer 3.8 billion Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, the e-levy would have accrued 1.9 billion Ghana cedis, and the betting tax would have accrued 180 million. The two put together is just above 2 billion Ghana cedis. By reducing the tax refund account from 6 to 4, it is enough to remove this tax, and the savings will be provided to take care of social interventions. Mr. Speaker, already one source, and this is enough, to address the concerns from well-meaning Ghanaians on how we are going to close the revenue shortfalls as a result of the removal of the selected taxes. The answer is that we have stopped the bleeding. We have stopped the bleeding. Mr. Speaker, accordingly, with this budget, we will amend the Revenue Administration Act 2016, Act 915. This measure will improve the tax revenue net of tax refund by 2%, representing 0.3% of GDP. Mr. Speaker, in line with government policy, the 2025 minimum wage recently negotiated with the National Tripartite Committee will be zero-rated. Again, without increasing the levy, we will also review the Energy Sector Levies Act to consolidate the Energy Debt Recovery, the Energy Sector Recovery Levy, and the Sanitation and Pollution Levy into one levy and use the proceeds to cater for energy sector shortfalls and service the inherited debt service obligation. Mr. Speaker, the reset has just begun. Right Honorable Speaker, the rest of the energy sector levies, including the Road Fund Levy, Energy Fund Levy, price stabilization will remain to support the achievement of their intended objectives. Right Honorable Speaker, Ghana has not sufficiently capitalized on the benefits of its extractive sector to generate revenue to support rent and channeling it towards productive infrastructure and human capital. Natural resource rent, which of GDP in the case of Ghana. However, Mr. Speaker, revenue from extractive industry is around 1.5% of GDP only. This is because, as a country, we have failed to fully capture the economic rent of our natural resources. Mr. Speaker, whereas global gold prices have seen some significant increase in recent times, Ghana has not been able to take full advantage of the development. Subsequently, Mr. Speaker, we are proposing to increase the Growth and Sustainability Levy from 1% on gross production of mining companies to 3% to enable the nation to have its fair share of the windfall. Mr. Speaker, we also propose to extend the sunset clause to 2028. Mr. Speaker, we also propose to extend the sunset clause of the special import levy to 2028. Mr. Speaker, Ghanaians and this Honorable House will recall that road tolls on public roads were zeroed rated in the year 2020. Arrests and claims in the road sector remains. Right, Honorable Speaker, while the annual average collection from road tolls have not been significant compared to its potential, the existing zero-rated policy for road tolls has increased the situation and dimmed the prospect of raising enough revenue from tolls to road construction and maintenance. Accordingly, government will work with the stakeholders, including the private sector. Right, Honorable Speaker, we will also strengthen the legal and regulatory regime for non-tax revenue and enforce the framework to improve service delivery. This will be achieved through the introduction of an overarching non-tax revenue legislation, amendment of existing relevant laws, and the development of a national non-tax revenue strategy and policy. Mr. Speaker, as part of the reforms to improve other non-tax revenue streams, government will explore the operationalization of a regulatory framework for collection, management, and reporting of property rates consistent with our medium-term revenue stream, that the local authorities must be given the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, the current compliance rate for SMEs and personal income tax is below 30%, which is extremely low. Government will embark on an aggressive and sustained tax education campaign in the next 2 to 3 years to ensure improved compliance and tax revenue mobilization. We will also institute a quarterly dialogue on tax issues among the Ghana Revenue Authority, Ministry of Finance, and the business community to ensure that issues affecting businesses are addressed promptly. Mr. Speaker, I now take you to VAT reforms. Right, Honorable Speaker, we commit to the people of Ghana and this House, the business community, that we will undertake a comprehensive value-added tax reform this year. Mr. Speaker, with the aim to review the current distortions and cascading structure of the value-added tax regime. The 2.5% Get Fund levy, the National Health Insurance levy of 2.5%, and the COVID levy are well added to the base for a final determination of what is due for VAT purposes. Mr. Speaker, aside the high VAT rate, businesses are not permitted by law to claim their input VAT for any has been distorted and rendered inefficient. It combines both VAT and sales tax principles with a flat rate, standard rate, and levies. It is expected that the IMF mission will commence in April 2025. The recommendation from the Technical Assistance Mission are expected to inform our reform task force to hold broad consultation with key stakeholders for their input. Mr. Speaker, the parameters for VAT reform will be is for them to complete this year. Mr. Speaker, the parameters include the following. 1, abolishing the COVID levy. Mr. Speaker, reversing the decoupling for households and businesses. Reversing the VAT flat rate regime and upwardly adjusting the VAT registration threshold to exempt proof compliance through public education and awareness. Mr. Speaker, I now take you to revenue mobilization. 223.8 billion Ghana cedis, or 17.2% of GDP. Up from revenue measures, which are expected to yield at least 0.6% of GDP. Mr. Speaker, representing 20.7% of GDP, down from 279.2 billion, which is 26% of GDP in the year 2024. Primary expenditure on commitment basis of GDP, which is a significant decline from 232.4 billion, representing 21.7. Based on the resource allocation from 2025 fiscal year, total appropriations for the year ending 31st December 2025 is, Mr. Speaker, budget financing. Right, Honorable Speaker. Based on the estimate for total revenue and grant and total expenditure, the projected overall balance on commitment basis is a deficit of 43.8 billion Ghana cedis, equivalent to 3.1% of GDP. The corresponding primary balance on commitment basis is a surplus of 20.3 billion Ghana cedis, equivalent to 1.5% of GDP. On cash basis, Mr. Speaker, overall balance is a deficit of 56.9 billion Ghana cedis, equivalent to 4.1% of GDP. The corresponding primary balance on cash basis is again a surplus of 7.3 billion, equivalent to 0.5% of GDP. Finance from both foreign and domestic sources. The total foreign net financing will amount to 21.4 billion Ghana cedis. Foreign financing will include a provision for financing from IMF ECF program, disbursed of 720 billion Ghana cedis, and the World Bank Development Policy operations of 600 million Ghana cedis, 65% of total financing for 2025. This is expected to be sourced from the issuance of debt at the short end of the domestic market and opening of the domestic market. Mr. Speaker, the government will take steps to reopen the domestic bond market, large-size benchmark bonds. That will enhance market liquidity. Right, Honourable Speaker. Further is to reduce the risk on debt portfolio of government, and we will build cash buffers to support effective implementation of the liability management strategy. Mr. Speaker, this will help smoothen the redemption profile and mitigate refinancing risk. We'll implement liability management operations to manage the risk embedded in the Eurobond debt profile. Right, Honourable Speaker. Beginning 2025, we'll commence the operationalization of Section 37 to Section 44 of the Public Financial Management Act 2016, the sinking fund, as a landmark reform to manage our public debt. Right, Honourable Speaker, I'm pleased to report to the House that following our proactive fiscal management strategy, in our engagement with the market, this management strategy has yielded sufficient dividend. Mr. Speaker, on the 7th of January 2025, the NDC government inherited a 91-day Treasury bill rate of 28.19%. Mr. Speaker, just 2 months into this administration, we have successfully reduced this rate to 17.72% as at last Friday. Mr. Speaker, this represents a reduction of over 10%. In other words, 1,047 basis points in just 2 months. Mr. Speaker, similarly, on the 7th January 2024, again successfully reduced that rate to 18.97% as at Friday, 7th March 2025. This represents a reduction of 995 basis points in only 2 months. The Speaker, again, on the 7th of January 2025, we inherited a 364-day Treasury bill rate of 30.15%. We have successfully reduced this rate to 19.93% as at Friday's 2 basis points in just 2 months. The Speaker, on average, rates have fallen by over 1,000 basis points, signifying a strong investor confidence, crowding in the private sector, reducing the cost of doing business and overall macroeconomic stability. It has been done already. Mr. Speaker, about economic transformation and economic growth by creating an 8 hours each to boost production, promote activity and generate well-paying jobs. We will be presenting Act and other enabling legislation. Will roll out the implementation development to open up the country will be established in the course of the year and as soon as possible. So, Speaker, we will stabilize the Ghana cedi and provide stability to the macroeconomy. We will implement an economic transformational agenda underpinned by structural reforms anchored on promoting modernized agriculture, agribusiness, and value addition for import substitution, export, and job creation. Mr. Speaker, we will complement monetary policy with fiscal and real sector policies to reduce inflation. Food inflation will be reduced through the implementation of the Agriculture for Economic Transformation agenda, anchored on our 24-hour economy. Growth, fiscal and debt sustainability, sound public financial management, efficient public service delivery, and good governance. The Speaker will ensure that social protection is adequately catered for in the course of the year. We'll use government procurement to drive Made in Ghana agenda to promote production and consumption of Made in Ghana goods. Right, Honorable Speaker, to demonstrate this agenda, as I said, I came to this House with a presentation of a bag proudly made in Ghana by Horseman. Mr. Speaker, we will formalize the export of Ghanaian labor to other countries. We will ensure a structured and beneficial system for Ghanaian workers seeking employment abroad and create safer legal pathway for them to work in foreign countries whilst protecting their rights and welfare. Mr. Speaker, this will also reduce illegal migration, prevent worker exploitation, and maximize the economic benefits of remittance and boost foreign exchange earnings. Mr. Speaker, I now take you to how these resources will be allocated in the year 2025. Mr. Speaker, we will provide a cedi equivalent board to be able to purchase and export at least 3 tons of gold per week from small-scale miners. Mr. Speaker, we have allocated 13.85 billion Ghana cedis for Big Push project. 85 billion Ghana cedis for the Big Push program. Mr. Speaker, an amount of students in public tertiary institutions under the no-fee stress initiatives. Mr. Speaker, we have allocated an amount of 292.4 million Ghana cedis to commence the distribution of free sanitary pads to female students in primary and secondary schools. Mr. Speaker, we have allocated again an amount of 242.5 million Ghana cedis to support the victim of Akosombo Dam spillage. Right, Honorable Speaker, we have also allocated an amount of the residents in certain part of K2 South constituency. Mr. Speaker, the overarching concern and the absence of dedicated sources. Mr. Speaker, let me take this again. The overarching concern about free secondary education has been its quality and the absence of a dedicated sources of funding. His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama has resolved the funding challenges by uncapping the GET fund. Mr. Speaker, this is for full financing of free senior secondary school education and free tertiary education for persons with disability. Mr. Speaker, therefore, Capping and Realignment Act will be amended to uncap the Ghana education. Mr. Speaker, this year, The budget for free senior secondary school education program is 3.5 billion Ghana cedis. Secondary school education program is 3.5 billion Ghana cedis. By uncapping the GET fund, we will be making available an additional 4.1 billion Ghana cedis in program and other related expenditures. Mr. Speaker, aside the uncapping of GET fund, that GET fund contracted. Right, Honorable Speaker, we have also allocated an amount of 564.61 4 sets of KG books and workbooks for about 2.8 million learners. Mr. Speaker, we have also provided for 4 sets of primary textbooks for about 800,000 learners, 140,000 learners. Right, Honorable Speaker, under the school feeding program, budgetary provision has been increased 8 billion Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, representing a 33% increase. The allocation for 2025 reflects an increase in feeding costs per meal, per child, from the 1 cedi 50 pesos to 2 cedis, representing 33.3%. Mr. Speaker, up from 84 million Ghana cedis in 2024. This is an increase of 73.4% over the previous year. Mr. Speaker, we have also allocated 203 million Ghana cedis for the payment of teacher training allowances and another 480 million Ghana cedis to nursing training allowances. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, we have uncapped the National Health Insurance Levy. Mr. Speaker, we have uncapped the National Health Insurance Levy. An amount of about 10 billion Ghana cedis has been programmed for the National Health Insurance Scheme. And this amount is expected to be used for the following: claim payments, essential medicine, vaccine payment, free primary health care. The Ghana Medical Care 2025, government will continue to implement reforms and increase budgetary allocation to enhance the implementation of 4 targeted social protection programs, namely National Health Insurance, the LEAD program, the school feeding program, and capitation grant. Right, Honorable Speaker, under the LEAD program, July 2025. The allocation of 728.8 million Ghana cedis for last year has been increased to 953.5 million Ghana cedis in the year 2025. So, Speaker, we have also uncapped the road fund. An amount of 2.81 billion Ghana cedis maintenance. This represents an increase of 150 55% over the 2024 allocated, an amount of 7.5 billion Ghana cedis to the District Assembly Common Fund. In accordance, percent of the funds allocated to the District Assembly Common Fund should be sent directly to the district assemblies to spur economic growth and at the district level to deepen decentralization. Right, Honorable Speaker, I repeat, we have allocated an amount of 7.5 billion Ghana cedis to the district assemblies Common Fund. Mr. Speaker, in accordance with our decentralization policy and objective, we propose to Parliament that a minimum of 80% of the funds should be sent directly to the district assemblies to spur economic growth at the district level and deepen decentralization. Mr. Speaker, it is worth noting that in a stark contrast to what has happened recently at the District Assembly Common Fund, where only 50% of the released amount are sent to the District Assembly for the purposes of running the assemblies. Mr. Speaker, we have also allocated an amount of 1.5 billion Ghana cedis for Agriculture for Economic Transformational Program, of which Feed Ghana, Ghana Grains Development Project, Vegetable Development Project, and Nkoko Nketenkete are all key components of the program. Right, Honorable Speaker, we have also allocated 51.3 million Ghana cedis as seed fund for the establishment of the Women's Development Bank. Mr. Speaker, we have also allocated 300 million Ghana cedis. Repeat, we have also allocated an amount of 300 million Ghana cedis to the National Apprenticeship Program. Right, Honorable Mr. Speaker, an amount of 100 million Ghana, another amount of 100 million Ghana cedis members. Mr. Speaker, Right Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable Speaker, sector ministers who are representing to this Mr. Speaker, sector ministers will be presenting to this House a detailed sectorial performance and outlook, as well as sector-specific policy interventions to deal with the challenges of various MDAs. Mr. Speaker, I want to repeat this. Mr. Speaker, sector ministers will be presenting to this House a detailed sectorial performance and outlook, as well as specific sector interventions to deal with the challenges of various MDAs. This is indeed a departure from the norm, where ministers also. Right Honorable Speaker, In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, have presented does not reflect an economy that has turned the corner. It reflects an economy in severe distress, burdened with debt repayment harms, mismanagement, and lack of accountability. The budget sets Ghana on a path of fiscal responsibility, debt sustainability, macroeconomic stability, and job creation. It is about resetting the economy and restoring when they actively participated in the National Economic Dialogue on the 3rd and 4th of March 2025. A key outcome of the dialogue was the confirmation that the fundamental problem with our economy is fiscal indiscipline. The NP administration awarded contracts outside the expenditure framework. They borrowed over and above Ghana's capacity to repay. Mr. Speaker, His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama's administration will be fiscally disciplined and deliver improved public service to our people in a cost-effective manner. Mr. Speaker, we remain steadfast in meeting the IMF program target while restoring Ghana's creditworthiness. We have achieved a lot in a short time, but this is only the beginning. Our commitment to reform we will not waver on that. Mr. Speaker, we have achieved a lot in this short time, and our commitment to reform will not waver. Those who doubt our resolve in effective governance, together we will navigate these turbulent times and emerge stronger. Mr. Speaker, we are making serious progress. Right Honorable Speaker, we are making progress. We committed to running a lean, efficient government of 60 ministers. Mr. Speaker, we have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to scrapping the e-levy. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to scrapping the burden tax. We have delivered. Right Honorable Speaker, we committed to eliminate academic fee for first-year public tertiary students. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to providing free tertiary education for all people with disability. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to providing dedicated source of funding for free secondary education. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to distributing sanitary pads to our schoolgirls. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to uncap Get Fund. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to uncap the National Health Insurance. We have delivered. Right Honorable Speaker, we committed to uncap the road fund to maintain our roads. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to hold a national forum on education. We have delivered. Right Honorable Speaker, we committed to hold a national dialogue on the economy. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to deliver free primary health care. We have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to deliver Mahama Care Program to finance the treatment of non-communicable disease. Mr. Speaker, we have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to deliver free presentation of $10 million Big Push program. Mr. Speaker, we have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we committed to constitute a review process to build the Ghana we want together. We are delivering. Right, Honorable Speaker, we committed to recover all, Mr. Speaker, we committed to reset Ghana. We are delivering. Right, Honorable Speaker, I call on Parliament outlined in this budget will help us tackle the challenges we face as a country. This budget is a foundation upon which we will build a more resilient and equitable society. Mr. Speaker, this budget is not just about numbers. It is about a blueprint for growth, stability, and opportunity. With unity and determination, we can restore faith in our economy, foster innovation, and uplift every Ghanaian. Mr. Speaker, with unity and determination, I repeat, we can restore faith in our economy, foster innovation, and uplift every Ghanaian. Right, Honorable Speaker, on behalf of His Excellency the President, I invite this House to join hands with us to build the Ghana we want.
Honorable members, for finance has taken 1 hour 40 minutes. To make the statement. And I believe by our standing orders, the statement time is ended. We now move on to the commencement of public business. Presentation of papers. The following papers to be presented. Presentation of papers. The following papers to be presented.
Annual report on the petroleum fund for the 2024 fiscal year.
Honorable members, this refers to 8A Roman 1, and this has been presented and is referred to the Finance Committee for consideration and report to the House. We now move on to 8A Roman 2.
Annual report on the collection and utilization of the levy for the 2024
and is referred to the Finance Committee for consideration and report to the House. As leader, give and have a word. Yes. Yes, Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, this afternoon we have been presented with part 2 of the lamentation series. The Mahamanomics. The part 2 is FORSONomics. It's very clear, Mr. Speaker, that under the economy that they complain about, the growth was 5.7%, going down. You are projecting a 4 point. The economy that they complain about left us with 4 months of import cover, and they are projecting under reset 3 months. Mr. Speaker, are the very people who PPP debts. Today they are telling us that they are coming to renegotiate.
Honorable Minority Leader. Honorable Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we are not debating today. We are giving an indication.
Honorable Minority Leader, please be guided by Order 91.
Mr. Speaker, exactly so. Very, very guided by that. Mr. Speaker, I may read Order 91.
Your statement was that you are not debating today.
Oh, Mr. Speaker, we are not making comment on it. We are not going to make comment today. engineer the comment today. Because, Mr. Speaker, they are not ready. We are ready, but we think they are. So I'm only going to give an indication. Mr. Speaker, let the minority leader enjoy his bona fides for this minute. Just relax, Mr. Speaker.
I only want to draw your attention to the fact that you can only make comments.
Very well.
And the comments not more than 5 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, in commenting on this statement by the finance minister, it is clear to all of us in this chamber that today they decided to populate this chamber Mr. Speaker, they populated this chamber with their members only to come.
Honorable Minority Leader.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker.
The Minister for Finance did not talk about the population of the chamber. So that is not part of the statement of the Minister. Please.
This time, after the inauguration, the swearing in, the majority side was heavily populated. Mr. Speaker, that notwithstanding, Mr. Speaker, we have witnessed what we can best describe as an Azan budget. Mr. Speaker, they are on much talked about for 24-hour economy. They said it was already not included in his budget statement. Mr. Speaker, Speaker, the youth of this country have been waiting for the policy will be brought. It is clear that all the jobs they promised the youth of this country was merely an Azan promise. Mr. Speaker, there is no inspiration from this budget. There is no hope in this budget. The repetition of the social intervention programs, Mr. Speaker, and then the minister complained that some contracts at the road sector had no commencement certificate. Go to the Chain Homes Road. There is a road construction on the Chain Homes. There is a new road being constructed to the 10 rooms with a new runabout. There is no commencement. We did a search. There is no commencement. There is no PP approval. You are doing, Mr. Speaker, you have started construction.
Minority Leader. Honorable Minority Leader. Honorable Minority Leader. Honorable. Please.
Mr. Speaker, I shall conclude my comment by saying that whereas the Minister of Finance told us that there will be heavy sanctions against all those who go contrary to the PFM Act, under his own administration, the Chain Homes Road is being a new runabout is being constructed. Must start with his own ministers. Mr. Speaker, we are ready for our comments. We know they are not ready, but if the minister is going to stay, Mr. Speaker, let us start the comments on this budget statement here and now. This Azam budget, we cannot allow it to get onto the shelves for Ghanaians to think that there is any hope. Mr. Speaker, there is going to be comment to expose them. Thank you very much.
Honorable Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the Minority Leader and I share something in common. We were both assemblymen. And when the Minister of Finance made the unprecedented announcement of a gargantuan I saw the gleeful smile on his face. Mr. Speaker, this clearly is a budget of a government and a party keeps its promises. That was made by John Dramani Mahama is being fulfilled in less than 120 days. This budget is a budget for Makola women. It's a budget for girls. This budget girls, students, sanitary pads. Mr. Speaker, it seems to me that the men on this side have started using sanitary pads. Because the sanitary pads is for the female students. That's why I said girls. Mr. Speaker, this is a budget for school children. They will now, Mr. Speaker, this is a budget that delivers solid reforms. And this is a budget that is moving our growth from Galamsey growth to real growth. Mr. Speaker, by the time we finish implementing this budget. And by the time we finish implementing the 3 that will come after this one, Osunu Boye Nkitikiti. Osunu Boye Nkitikiti. Osunu Nkitikiti. To wit, Mr. Speaker, the elephant will become small. Osunu Boye Nkitikiti.
Majority Leader. Majority Leader, the Minister for Finance did not talk about Osunu. So, Osunu is not part of the statement. Please.
Speaker was wrong. Mr. Speaker, on that note, I want to assure my friend, the minority leader, that the road at Chain Homes that is being done is not a new project. It's not a new project. So don't. There's something else you want me to add. Yeah. Mr. Speaker, this is a budget that will stabilize the economy. This is a budget that will create jobs for the youth of this country. Because this is a budget that will stabilize the economy and provide the enabling environment for the private sector to thrive and create jobs for the youth of this country. Mr. Speaker, fishermen, students, and the energy sector is going to be salvaged by the implementation of this budget. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the Minister of Finance for making the statement. I assure my friend, the minority leader, we are ready. The proposals contained in the statement of the Minister of Finance will
earlier. This, you have to make comments on the statement. Guide you because it's a transition. We used to debate budgets by making it a motion. Our standing orders from experience guided us to change it to a statement. And so last budget was a statement. And this one too is a statement. So it's a new field. And you need some guidance as to what to do during the course of that. If not, the Speaker will have a hell of trouble to is a statement. So it's a new field. And you need some guidance as to what to do during the course of that. If not, the Speaker will have a hell of trouble managing the House. So what we intend to do is since independence. You can go to the FOIA and you get the budget statement since independence. We also have soft copies of handouts, of budget statements with the pictures of the various ministers of finance. They will all be on display for you to go, and you can, at your own leisure, go through it yourselves. Session now, you can go and have access and view it. We believe that this will assist you, and as we do that, we may focus on some of you, and we particularly want to project the excellent inputs that our ladies make on the floor as part of the affirmative, the law that we passed. So we priority, honorable members, I will proceed, and then you decide whether we should adjourn or not. So I'm going to put the question. Honorable members, I will allow the leaders to move the motion. The minority leader wants to move the motion for adjournment.
Speaker, thank you. Mr. Speaker, I believe that it is entering this in full. So we can stay, we can do some 2 more hours of comment before we move the motion. Since 7th January, this is the first time. So, Mr. Speaker, let's give them the opportunity to comment, especially those who are not regular in this chamber. So, once we are done, we can then move the motion to adjourn the House. Mr. Speaker, that is my humble prayer. I don't know whether they would agree, but if they are in a hurry to go back home, Mr. Speaker, I would therefore move that this House be adjourned to enable them go back home.
Mr. Speaker, a reflection of the constitution of this site. Is testimony to the fact that when they are needed, they will be here.
Honorable members. Honorable members.
Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members. Honorable members. Honorable members. Please. Honorable members. The Winneba Choir sings I want to repeat. I want to repeat it. I'm sure you didn't hear what I was trying to say. Better than you all.
Mr. Speaker, it is obvious that the minority have withdrawn from participating in the involvement in the development of this country. They started it and then they got the response. Mr. Speaker, on that note, I second the motion for adjournment.
Honorable members, those in favor of the motion for adjournment, say aye. Those against the motion for adjournment, say no. Majority leader, yes.
Mr. Speaker, there is rebellion on this side of the House. Because their leader moved the motion. Leader, put your house in order.
Honorable
Watch your back.
Please. That is democracy. They are entitled to disagree, even with their leader. But yes, minority leader.
Mr. Speaker, I have a very peaceful caucus. Mr. Speaker, I move the motion for adjournment for the benefit of the majority. And rest.
Honorable members, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted. This House stands adjourned to at 10 in the forenoon. The House is adjourned.